Hello, this is Fan Formula on the, now, well, by my watch is now the 18th of June. This is the second or third time I've recorded this because for whatever reason, due to my computer being awkward, I haven't to re-record it. Anyway, let's get down to business. Question 1. Throughout the season, several drivers have either added slight adaptations or radical design changes to their helmets. Do you think drivers should stick with one distinctive design or just adapt this slightly to different special occasions? So do you think listen to or do you like seeing the constant changes? I don't like seeing the constant changes. I like to be able to look in the car and say, right, that's Jenson Button, that's Mark Webber, that's HRT driver. You know, it's Formula One's sort of an expensive enough and throwaway enough sport as it is without then. I know the drivers pay for their own helmets, but then it just looks wasteful if they keep changing their helmet all the time. I mean, you know, one helmet design suited Prost, one helmet design suited Senna, one helmet design suited Sir Jackie Stewart, and even one helmet design seems to suit Lewis Hamilton and Bruno Senna. They keep fairly similar designs. Rubens Barrichello keeps the pretty similar design, and as I understand it, Jenson Buttons have pretty much had roughly the same sort of design anyway. You know, I prefer to see that. I don't like to see the constant changes. Like I say, it shows the internal, not quite the internal camera, but you know, the camera's just sort of there in the cockpit, or on the cockpit on the driver. If they're sat here driving, the camera's sort of there. I like to be able to tell who it is, if the graphics are a few seconds behind or not working. It's easier to say, oh, that helmet, quick scouted memory, that's Lewis Hamilton, for example. I like the way I think he does it mainly. They keep the same sort of design, and like for Monaco one year he had a roulette wheel on the top of his helmet, which is probably slightly ironic in many ways around there for him. I prefer to see little modifications done. I'm not a fan of huge changes to the helmets. Well, to be honest, I'd rather it was just design. It was just design there and none of the sponsorship on the helmets at all. But oh well, this is what I think. Question 2: which drivers disappointed you through the performance the most this season so far, and why? I think maybe disappointed is too strong a word for that. Maybe drivers who I think should have delivered more by now. I certainly think Kobayashi should have delivered a bit more. He has delivered a few good results. I think he's turned in a 4th and a 5th, but Perez has been on his podium twice. So, you know, a bit of outshining going on there. He's been a disappointment. If you want to use the word disappointment, It pains me to say this, being a Williams fan, but I don't think Bruno Senna's quite delivered enough this season. But I think he's being hampered by Bottas doing the Friday sessions. I think he's got 15 out of 20 Friday sessions. Well, with that said, we are at tracks where Bruno's only ever driven once in a rather shite car, to be honest. So he's having to learn it for. The Williams isn't the best car on the grid by a long way, but he's having to relearn the tracks in effect in a better car. Jenson Button's been a bit disappointing at the moment. I know I'd be earning a slap from Dom for saying that, but Jenson Button's just not been there for some reason. I don't know what it is, and he's just not been there. And Massa, as usual, hasn't delivered. And to me, also the two Toro Rosso drivers. The point Dom made in his last Fan Formula video. He said, you know, there was all this hype about Verne and well, I think it's Verne, the French one, and the Aussie, and they've not delivered at all. Which, well, Ricciardo's delivered a couple of times with a good qualifying, but they've not turned it into anything worthwhile. Well, that said, in Monaco, if it had rained, Verne's decision if it was his decision for wet tyres would have been inspired. I can't say there's been anyone in particular, but that anyone above the rest, but the guys I've listed have certainly stand out. Question 3. I don't think it's been worded properly. But I think we've had 7 races and 7 different winners. But who was your favourite? Which one was your favourite and why? Well, I've got 2 favourites. I like the first race of the season, Jenson Button's win, because partly because I prefer Jenson Button. If I have a day where I support McLaren, I support Jenson Button. I always support Williams, but you know, if I'm being picky and choosy about who I want to win, it was brilliant to see Jenson Button win. Plus, it was the first race of the season, start of the Formula 1 circus, start of the mayhem, start of the magic, start of the politics, whatever. It was just the start, so it was great to see that win. And also, as a Williams fan, I will admit, I would have much preferred to see Bruno Senna take the first Williams win for 8 years. However, for Williams, a win's a win. Can't complain. I know, especially with Pastor Maldonado's antics at Monaco the week later, it's like, what the hell were you doing? Anyway, but I think the Williams win is the one I preferred, maybe because it was long. That one was long overdue. I think the Williams won overall because that one was just long overdue for them, especially after the god awful season they had last year. Ironically, the same kit this is from. Anyway, next one, bonus question. This weekend saw a break from Formula 1 and a variety of motorsport was taking place. Did you watch any of them? If so, what? If not, why not? I didn't quite catch all of it because I was at work on Saturday and I up at 4:45 on a Saturday, which most people are just getting into bed or just running out to booking an appointment at the clinic if they've woken up next to someone they have not got a clue who they are. So sort of tweets to links to bits of most more like the Indy, the NASCAR and things I didn't catch. I did catch some of the Le Mans though. I did catch about 2 or 3 hours of it. I make a point each year to try and at least catch a couple of hours of it because it's Le Mans. It's like Monaco. It happens once a year. It's iconic for a reason. So Le Mans, every year I try and catch a bit of. It's a shame none of the current F1 drivers were in it, but it was good to see Chandok doing fairly okay. Good to see Martin Brundle and his son Alex Brundle having a good go at it. And I believe that Fizzy Keller, the Ferrari 458 he was driving, he's done pretty well, although the only thing I want to detract from that is he wouldn't be in the Ferrari 458 now if he hadn't taken Massa's place in 09 and if it had been Schumacher instead, but oh well. I did catch some of them more. I didn't catch Anthony Davidson's crash, or I've seen some of the replays and my god, he was big lucky. I could have gone either way. It's not quite like Mark Webber in the Merc CLK GTR, it went completely over and it was on the Mulsanne, the second half of the Mulsanne straight, where Mark Webber went flipped over. I think it was the second half of the Mulsanne anyway, certainly on the Mulsanne. I think everyone on Fan Formula would be wishing Anthony Davidson a speedy recovery. So I can't really say anything different, so I'd just like to add my generic get well soon Anthony messages into that. So yeah, I just caught a bit of the Le Mans this weekend. And that's the end of this Fan Formula. Just quickly moving on to Storm Space stuff. I haven't put a video out this week. Peter's, my brother's meant to be putting out, getting the video edited. He's doing stuff this week, so next week it should be being ready. I haven't been putting out videos because it takes up a lot of time. I don't know how long it takes Bruce and Will to do these Fan Formula videos. I'm guessing it's about a 7-8 hour turnaround. I mean, for me one day it took me 14 hours to turn a video around. The only difference is really Grace will just cut together, whereas I've got to make everything happen. I've got to machinimate it, I've got to record the voices. That's why some of the reason I haven't done it, because it takes so long to do. Also, there's only so many voices I can do. There's only so many seconds you can change in sound booth to get a different voice tone. Because otherwise it just starts to sound distorted and wrong. There's so many accents I can pull, or I can pull for a decent length of time to get enough audio in. Also, it's difficult if you've got controlling one person with one Xbox controller in this hand, you've got the other Xbox controller in this hand. There's only so long you can machinimate each head for. But then most of the time I've got a third Xbox controller with another guy who's just making sure the eye lines are matching up. So it's a lot to watch out for, and it's a lot to do. Where's My Liberty Series 2? I'm writing out at the moment. That's about 3,000 words. It's not too bad, I think. Trying to think if I can work in a new character, but I'll have to wait and see, because that's, again, if Mikey's still in, that's a 2 Xbox job. If not, I've got to somehow pull another Xbox from nowhere. And also we need another female for Where's My Liberty Series 1. So if you're interested, if any of the writers from Fan Formula are interested in it, if anyone who actually might watch this, which is probably no one, is interested in it, send a tweet to @CWhite90999 or to Stormspace We'll send a copy of the script, and if you like it, that'd be good. Anyway, well, now after midnight, got things to do tomorrow. Joy, good day off, thank God. Mrs. is coming, which is okay. So yeah, that's it. Yeah.